What's up, my guys? Welcome to another show, NBA show from SBR. Make sure you guys go to sbrpicks.com/NBA. Check out all the articles, NBA content we have over there. I'm your host, Jay Money. It's my guy, Black Jizzle. It's my guy, Junior Browne. We're here to break down these NBA games. First, we're going to recap yesterday. BlackJack, how was your day yesterday? How you been, period, Black Jizzle? Everything good with you?
Of course, brother. When you walk around life, when you walk around life like blackjack, it's always good.
This guy here. What's up, Junior? Everything good with you, my guy?
Yeah, definitely can't complain. Hit both my plays yesterday. Nets first half under, Nets Suns moneyline parlay. I mean, I don't want to say this because I don't like to tempt the gambling gods, but I'm hotter than Nigeria in July at noon, son. So just looking to keep that going.
Got you. Yeah, the Nets, they smack up them Bucks there. They got down 20 quick, man. Giannis, I don't know if it's the coach, if it's Giannis or what, man, but we'll see game three if they got anything left in the tank. They get smacked out by basically 40 points, lost by 39. Nets smack them up 125-86, little smack city there. Y'all put them shirts on. Then the Suns smack up the Nuggets. There was close in the first quarter, first half. Nuggets showed that they could keep up with them. Suns defense started to be a little bit too much up in the second half. No Morris didn't necessarily have a good game. So Suns smacked them boys up. Well, I can say both favorites. The Nets actually ended as the dog in that game. Bucks got bit up as to two, but Suns they cashed the fave -5.5. My guys. Let's get to today's games. What you guys here for? Tuesday spot, my guys. Black Jizzle. We got the Hawks versus Sixers game up first. Obviously, Sixers down 0-1 here. The favorite here, the number one seed over there in the East, are down 0-1. What you thinking about this one, Black Jizzle?
I'm going to go with the Sixers here, Jay. I like Philly in a bounce back spot here. I get that the Hawks have been playing really well. I understand that. And six is a number that gave me a little bit of a pause, but I don't think that the Sixers are going to shoot as poorly as they did in game one. I feel like they kind of allowed Atlanta to dictate the pace and tempo of that game from the jump. I don't think that happens two games in a row. I also don't think we're going to see Danny Green on Trae Young tonight, which is, important because Danny Green probably should be in a retirement home somewhere in Scottsdale. Should not be guarding Trae Young at this point in his career. So I'm going to take the Sixers, lay the 6 here, and think that they get back in this thing and kind of hit the reset button on this series.
This guy BlackJack is crazy, Junior. What's up, Junior? How are we looking at this game? Sixers down 0-1. What you think? Or will Trae Young be called for any offensive fouls in this game, Junior?
Listen, I do want to touch on something BlackJack said because Danny Green, at one point in his career, was a lockdown defender. That point in his career has passed. It's interesting because so Ben Simmons, who's always in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation, is basically saying like, "Yo, I got Trae," and I'd love to say that I think that he's going to lock him up, but here's the thing. And you guys watch basketball. This is what we do for a living. I coach basketball. Jay, you say that you're a defensive specialist. We still got to play once I head down to Texas and all that. But here's the thing, and you can confirm this if you're a defensive specialist. I don't care how good of a defender you are. When you got to guard a guy that's way shorter than you and has a much, much lower center of gravity than you, you're always going to be at a disadvantage. Always. And when that dude could pull up from 30, you're going to be at a really big disadvantage. So I'm not trying to say Ben Simmons can't guard Trae Young. I'm going to say I have my doubts, which is the same doubts I have about the next series, but we'll get into that once, Jay passes it off to us. So I'm going to say that my official play is a little bit square. I tweeted it out this morning. I rarely ever tweet out plays, but it's Sixers money line, and I'll get you the second half of that money line parlay in the next game, although I'm pretty sure you can figure out who that's going to be. I think that the Sixers cannot afford to go down 0-2. And I don't want to disrespect Atlanta, which is why I'm not taking the spread. Atlanta has been a top 5 team in the NBA since Nate McMillan took over that job, whether we want to recognize it or not. He was 27-11 in the regular season, which was like the 4th most wins during the span that he was a coach. And now they basically smacked the Knicks up and now went. Think about this. They've gone into 2 of the most hostile environments in North American sports, New York and Philly, and come away with wins. So if you're not taking this team for real, you're not really paying attention. which is why I'm taking Philly on the money line, because I just think Philly is the second best team in the East, and they will prevail overall.
Exactly, and we have to mention that the Sixers. So I'm watching the game, guys, it's all about how the game is going to be reffed. Unfortunately, we do got three big dog refs in this game, possibly for the Sixers to make sure they don't go down 0-2. But that's a whole different conversation. I don't know about you guys, but it's like we watch Trae Young versus Thibault, who's a damn good defender. He has his hands up the whole time, no body check, anything. Trae Young gives him a little chicken wing, actually a little full blown push off. Okay, so River, they call a foul on Thibault. Hey, okay, all right. So Doc Rivers like, hell no, we got to review this. That's not no foul. Everybody in the arena sees no foul. Everybody on TV, Van Gundy, everything. Nobody says the foul. Oh, they come back. Yeah, correct call. I don't know, bro. I'm not even going to soapbox, but it's all about how the game will be called. If Trae Young's getting those calls, the Hawks could likely win this game too. I mean, it could be a quick series. So it's just one of those things where they start to manipulate the refs. They know what they're going to call, and they kind of just throw their body into them and then go up and they get the call. So it should be interesting to see if he can get the calls today. I am one to believe Sixers couldn't get any shots going, Junior, BlackJack. They weren't making any easy shots. They were missing layups, all this. And they still had a chance to win. If Bogdanovich doesn't hit that three late in the fourth quarter, the game likely goes in overtime, and the Sixers, with their momentum, probably win game one. So just the way I'm looking at it, I see in game two bringing their momentum. They kind of sort of figured something out defensively in the second half. You're going to have to come with a lot stronger defensive effort here. I see the Sixers possibly starting this one off early, you know what I'm saying, gaining their momentum from game game one and bringing it in here if they come in with that type of motivation. So I'm with Junior here, man. I just put a little something on the halftime, full time, guys. It was minus 125, not too juicy. They just need to be up at the end of the half, and they need to win the game, which I see them doing, my guys. So that's my play. Sixers halftime, full time, minus 125. It's gonna be a tough game, but I think the Sixers pull it out, my guys. I lean to them covering as well. Could be a Smack City spot. But Black Jizzle, any other thoughts on this one, or would you look at if you had to play a total, BlackJack, would you play some here?
I mean, I don't love the total in this series because I think that what you've said before, Jay, is worth mentioning again. How good this Hawks team has been under Nate McMillan, right? I mean, their offense has gotten more efficient. Their defense has gotten better. It's improved under him. I would probably gun my head lean under the 224.5 here, but I prefer the side to the total.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that the Sixers, Junior, what you think? Did the defense prevail for the Sixers tonight? Because I think if they're going to win, it wholeheartedly has to be on defense. You got to slow down the Hawks and all their three-point shooters. Can the Sixers do that, Junior?
In theory, sure. But I'm not on the total, which is the first time in a while that I don't have a total play for the day. Because I think this series is a little bit unpredictable. I don't think that after one game I could say to you, I know what's going to happen in game two in terms of who's going to score what. Because part of my process, which is why I've been on total so much lately, is I try to think to myself, well, how much is the winning team going to score? So in this case, because I have the Sixers, I think for the Sixers to win, they got to score less than 110. So then to answer your question, that to me plays to the under.
Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. I lean toward the under here. If the under doesn't hit, I think the Sixers will be in trouble. The Hawks, they probably do have a better offense here, but Sixers, the reason what got them here and the number one seed has been defense. That's what they hang their hat on. That's what got them back into the game. If they're going to win today, it's going to have to start with defense. You're going to have to hold the Hawks to a sub 20-point quarter, if you ask me, my guys. Let's get to the next game, which will be tough to do. It will be tough to do. Next game up, Clippers versus the Jazz here, my guys. Obviously, Clippers coming off that game 7. Jazz have actually been off for a while. It's been interesting to see if Conley, because I think if the game was played before, like on Sunday, then Conley might not have played. Now with a couple more days to rest, Junior, what you think? I know Conley. You think that is that a part of your handicap here, and who you liking in this game?
Sorry, say that again. Is Conley being out part of my handicap? Is that what you're asking me?
Well, I'm just saying mainly, though, because obviously the spread could go either way if he's going to play his question. So I was just wondering, you know what I'm saying, were you thinking he's going to play or not? Or mainly, who you like in this game?
You are correct. The money line is based on the fact that I don't know if he's going to play or not. But I do like the Jazz either way. I think the Clippers... Here's my, I guess, I'll be as quicker than I was in the last game with my analysis. I look at all the things that Luka exposed on the Clippers, and I look at Donovan Mitchell's teammates, and I say to myself, who on the Clippers could guard Donovan Mitchell exactly? Because it's the same problem that Ben Simmons would have with Trae Young. Kawhi and Paul George are too big. They're too tall to stay in front of Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's built like an NFL running back that could get his elbow in the rim, right? So he could play above the rim, and he's faster than you, and he's improved his three-point shot. So you're talking about a guy who, and I'm not a Donovan Mitchell fan. I think if Donovan Mitchell is your best player, you can't win a championship, but Utah might prove me wrong this year. However, he's a 27.5 point per game scorer in like 25, 26 playoff games. So when the lights are bright, he's ready. He's ready to go. And I think that Donovan Mitchell, his ability to get into the lane at will, combined with the Clippers' lack of rim protection, combined with Patrick Beverley being a walking corpse, means that they don't really have anybody who could guard him. And I'm just not convinced by the Clippers, especially not after. I mean, listen, no matter what anyone wants to say, they had to dig deep to win that game, that series in 7 games. And I think that game 1 favors the rested, waiting Jazz, who, unlike the Clippers, weren't trying to avoid anybody. I don't think Utah gives a shit who they play. They're ready for anybody. And game 1, they're going to show you that tonight. And I think they cover. Well, I don't care if they cover the spread because I got them on the money line. The 2-team parlay, which is my write-up on Sportsbook review, is it pays plus 120.
Got you. I can dig it, my guy. I want to speak on something about the taller guy guarding because, like I said, I'm a basketball player. And I mean, I don't win every single game. But when a bigger defender is on you, obviously, so the main thing you have, I remember Junior mentioned the center of gravity. I mean, quickness. That's the main thing that you can have on a big guy. But as a shooter, I know as far as like Trae Young, when you have a bigger guy guarding you, it is harder to shoot over the guy, I must say. Now, you have to use your quickness to get past him. I feel like that's the main advantage. But I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that Paul George or Kawhi couldn't guard Donovan Mitchell. My problem is the difference is the Jazz have a lot better role players as far as Joe Ingles, who else? I can't think of the guy. Royce O'Neal hitting those threes. So I mean, Gobert as well. So they won't be able to start Morris at the 5 here. They will maybe have to mess with their rotations. Zubac likely have to get in here. Then the Jazz could possibly take some matchups off of him. But BlackJack, how you looking at this game? Jazz laying 3.5 right now, total of 220.5. Who you think gonna win this one, my guy?
Yeah, I'm laying it with Utah here. Junior's absolutely right. I think it's a poor matchup for the Clippers. We saw the Clippers get through the Mavericks, but I mean, I wasn't impressed by them in that series. I really wasn't. I think that they squandered opportunities. I don't think they're nearly as deep as people give them credit for being. I mean, Junior, when you said the corpse of Patrick Beverley, you couldn't have put it better. I mean, that guy just fell off a cliff. They make this trade for Rajon Rondo. They give up Lou Williams. Now the bench suffers in terms of scoring. There's not a lot I like about this Clippers team outside of Kawhi Leonard. I mean, I love everything about Utah. I love this team. I think that they are the most complete team in the NBA. And we saw the difference with and without Donovan Mitchell. When he's in that lineup, they can beat anybody on any given night. I think they come out and they send a message in game 1. They win this thing by double digits.
Yeah, and you usually want to fade the team. I'm not going to say usually. There's 2 ways of looking at this game. Obviously, Clippers coming off a grueling 7-game series where the last couple games they had to play their stars a boatload of minutes to get to this one. So this one could be a clear flat spot, letdown spot for the Clippers. My other problem is I lean Jazz. I'm only looking towards Jazz here. I don't like the fact that they've been off for a while, and we have seen some teams that like basically like the Hawks. So they come in still in some rhythm or plenty of rhythm, and then the Sixers don't come in, come out pretty flat. Could possibly see it, but I can only look towards Jazz here. Heavy lean to Jazz. Actually, if Conley's in, then I will be taking the Jazz. I just don't. I didn't want to hop on it, and then he ended up getting ruled out. I do think they'll need him in this one. The Jazz, in theory, I think their weakness is their bench. It's pretty. Jordan Clarkson is the main guy off the bench. After that, nobody to really create their own shot. So, like I say, heavy lean to Jazz for me in this one. Hopefully, they don't come out lethargic like most teams do. Jazz hitting their threes. They're one of the best teams in the league for sure, my guys, and they could definitely make it to the Western Conference Finals. It's gonna be a damn good series, Junior, I must say. BlackJack, say if you had to lean towards something on the total here, which way would you be leaning?
Over. I think Utah's gonna light it up. Over.
And hey, if the Jazz hit them threes, this shit gonna be over quick, Junior. I can tell you that now. What if you had to bet a total, Junior? Which way would you be looking, my guy?
I can only look at the over because the Clippers are a great three-point shooting team too, and if the Clippers get hot, the Jazz could have some problems. I just want to address something that people are saying in the chat, and it's not anything negative. It's just I'm gonna take the J Money approach and try to educate people. Because when I said that Donovan Mitchell's built like a running back, some people are like, don't exaggerate. So Donovan Mitchell's 6'1", 215. Chris Paul is 6 feet, 175. Ezekiel Elliott is 6'1", 225. Do you see where I'm going with this? Donovan Mitchell is closer to a running back size than he is a normal NBA guard size. If he wanted to be a running back size, if that's what he got paid to do, he could put on 10 pounds of muscle. He doesn't because he plays basketball and he plays above the rim and he's explosive. Kind of like Marcus Smart is built like a running back. That's what I'm trying to say.
Young Bulls,
guys that are big and physically strong for their position. That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Yeah. No, Donovan Mitchell is definitely built like running back. Hey, LeBron James built like running back. Yeah, so I mean, guy's a young bull, man. The guy's a baller, and I'll tell you something. If you're the Clipper, I mean, if we're going for the Jazz, I think so. We want to see Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, somebody on. Why? Because it's taking away some energy from them on the offensive end. Something that I really noticed for the Clippers in that Mavs series, they really only have 3 guys that can go and get their own shot. And I don't even know if I want to put Paul George in there because he's been so lackluster. If you make Paul George be a defender on the other side of the floor, and that's one of those things where he had to show up other than scoring. And if Paul George isn't one of the Clippers' main scorers right now, is Kawhi, Paul George, and Reggie Jackson. Because of Reggie Jackson in the high, I don't know. What I'm seeing is Kawhi is their offense. He is their main offense, and the Jazz may expose them. They play really good team defense. They just need to hit their threes, guys. If Jazz are hitting their threes, they will cover this game with ease. If they come out flat, not hitting them, I do worry, my guys. But Jazz are nothing for me in this one. Clippers could really be fatigued. Could really be a flat spot off that game 7, or they could be in more rhythm. But Jazz are nothing for me here, my guys. BlackJack, break them off with your officials.
Sixers -6, Jazz -3.5.
Can't talk you off, neither one of them, my guy. Junior, what are we doing?
Sixers Jazz moneyline parlay +120. Let's get it.
I can't talk you off there, my guy. I hope the Sixers start off early, guys. I put a little something on Sixers halftime, full time. It said -125. It's basically parlaying the first half money line with the full game money line. Need the Sixers come out, start off a lot faster this time. In theory, they should. If they won't, they'll likely go down 0-2 into the house, my guy. So heavy lean to Jazz for me as well. See what's up with Conley. Line will likely move either way. Could be a real flat spot for the Clippers here off that grueling Game 7 series, my guys. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Please hit the like button, subscribe, my guys. That's my guy, Junior Browne. It's my guy, BlackJack Fletcher. We out. We will be back tomorrow.